Glad you could join us. I'm meteorologist Nicole Karkic, taking a look across the country. Late this week, the pattern setting up really mild air moving into Western Canada. Hey, Calgary by the weekend, you're going to be 12 degrees on Sunday. Chilly weather in through the east, although we get a slight reprieve as we head into the weekend. Wednesday's highs, anything in orange above seasonal. White is seasonal, so Toronto was -3. And for you in the east, we were below average, with Halifax sitting at -7 yesterday. Now we're following this system making its way into the maritime provinces. Nova Scotia getting some snow in Halifax, which will bring you about 5 centimeters. We've got warnings, though, for Newfoundland, including Bonavista as well as Gander, for up to 20 centimeters of snow making its way through tonight. So the satellite showing us that clear, strong low starting to develop. How much snow will we get? Well, this is a general sense here. Notice in the dark blue in Newfoundland, a lot of snow, even Cape Breton Island. We've got Nathan Coleman joining us right now with the calm before the storm. And Nathan, tell us how things are now and where you're headed to next.
Lots of active weather coming our way.
Woohoo, ready to party. All right, so if you are going to be seeing this storm system in the east, that's you in the Maritimes and Newfoundland for the weekend, be prepared for any power outages. This morning, Halifax -8, Sydney -10, and the system moving through today, not prompting warnings for Nova Scotia, but certainly for Newfoundland, and then on the horizon for the weekend, things get much worse. Stay with us. This afternoon, not doing too bad. Look at these temperatures in Regina, +3, well above average in Calgary at 9, but over towards Halifax, -4 with snow on the way. Do you want to escape? I know I do. For Nassau, 29 degrees on Friday. We're going to see variable clouds through the area, but the ocean, nice and warm. Freeport getting up to 30 on Friday. Miami, 26 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. And over toward Georgetown, getting up to 26 degrees. Safe travels if you are going anywhere. Thanks for joining us. Nicole Karkic joining you here. Wednesday across the country, these were our daytime highs. So orange is above average. Calgary 9. Regina was -3. Vancouver got up to 7 degrees. We were quite seasonal here from Winnipeg to Toronto, but over for you in the east. Montreal, Halifax at -7. Usually you're closer to -1 for the daytime high. So this morning, Halifax still below average at -8, and a storm is looming. It's approaching Nova Scotia. At this moment in time, it's moving very slowly, but it will get to you by the afternoon overnight. Ottawa, -17 this morning, so still cold, but by this afternoon things are warming up, and as we head into the weekend, a nice reprieve from the cold air for you in eastern Ontario as well as southern Ontario. Into Friday, we've got for the south shore of Nova Scotia, Yarmouth to Halifax, under 5 centimeters coming through, but Cape Breton Island could pick up around Sydney up to 20 centimeters of snow. So this begins later on today through the overnight, and then it moves into Newfoundland. So Friday morning as you wake up in Newfoundland, number one, the winds are going to be blowing, gusting along the shorelines up to 80 kilometers an hour, plus Gander to St. John's, 10 to 20 centimeters of snow. For Gander and Bonavista, we do have a snowfall warning in place. For St. John's, it's a snowfall watch. Now this morning, looking at the winds, not too bad yet, but then notice as we start to get into these dark red as well as the pinks coming through, that's our strongest winds. So follow the pink to moving towards Newfoundland through the overnight. Then in the morning, slight break, and then winds pick up again with the wraparound effect with that counterclockwise rotation of the low. And then it moves through by Friday evening, things winding down, but then we're ramping up for another storm on the weekend. So this afternoon, Halifax -4, there's that snow. Sydney -2, snow blowing all around. And this afternoon towards the east, not doing too bad. Montreal getting up to about -10. We'll see that sunshine again. So it'll be a sunny winter day, I suppose. We are going to be seeing temperatures staying at about seasonal into the afternoon again for southern Ontario. Around Ottawa, you're -17 with a mix of sun and cloud.
Put together quite simply was for this week, mild west and cool east. Let's see how we fared out yesterday. And yeah, orange above seasonal,
right.
Blue below seasonal, white colors right on seasonal.
Exactly. And as we look to today, Chris,
yeah,
the pattern is setting up that we do have some freezing rain in through parts of northern Saskatchewan at this point.
Yeah.
But we're following this system closely in Atlantic Canada.
Yeah.
Snow today in Nova Scotia. That will move through into Newfoundland, and then another system for the weekend.
All right, let's talk about here and now, and the one we showed you yesterday. Remember when it was just a little cluster of clouds
right.
on Cape Hatteras?
You were very excited about it.
I was very excited about it. Halifax, south and west, less than 5 centimeters. The eastern shore drive, Cape Breton, that could be 10 to 15 centimeters, come by strong winds.
Right.
And then tonight and tomorrow, Nicole, Newfoundland.
Exactly. So 10 to 20 centimeters. Gander included. St. John's, you're included in a winter storm watch at this point, but warnings through parts of Newfoundland. And this morning, taking a look at the winds, you can see along the shorelines, not too bad, but it will pick up as the day goes on. And for the Maritimes, gusts could get up to 60 kilometers an hour. Watch anything in pink for the strongest winds.
Yeah, and notice that the wind will coincide where we see the heaviest amounts of snow. So lots of blowing snow. So again, deteriorating conditions later today and tonight in Nova Scotia, overnight and tomorrow morning, Newfoundland.
Exactly. So into this weekend, we're following winter storm warnings in Texas. Northern Texas getting snow today. Not as much as us, but then that moisture will just drive into the Maritime provinces, Chris. So let's break this down.
Absolutely. So again, this is batten down the hatches, because this one is going to bring very strong winds, potentially 100 kilometers or more. So power outages possible, disruptions to ferry service, flights likely as well. And it looks like for Nova Scotia, rain, snow, and wind. New Brunswick and PEI, mainly snow and wind. And in Newfoundland, snow to the north, rain to the south, wind everywhere.
Exactly. So that happens right into the weekend. And through to Friday, we've got a little system bringing snow in northern Ontario, about 3 to 5 centimeters through parts of the Nickel Belt. And then for Saturday, that sinks down towards Toronto. And then into Friday, we've got this afternoon, not doing too bad. Look at these temperatures in Regina, +3, well above average in Calgary at 9, but over towards Halifax, -4 with snow on the way. Do you want to escape? I know I do. For Nassau, 29 degrees on Friday. We're going to see variable clouds through the area, but the ocean nice and warm. Freeport getting up to 30 on Friday. Miami, 26 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. And over toward Georgetown, getting up to 26 degrees. Safe travels if you are going anywhere. Thanks for joining us. Meteorologist Nicole Karkic with you. Tracking major Atlantic storms. That should actually have an S on it, because we've got 3 that we're looking at coming through today, the weekend, and then next week. Updates on watches and warnings, and January thaw. Will it last for you in the west? Wow. Calgary yesterday, 9 degrees for the weekend, expected to get up to about 12. Now let's focus on Atlantic Canada first. Through to Friday, we've got snow coming in later on today. It's just offshore at this point. It'll bring the south shore of Nova Scotia 5 centimeters of snow, but for Cape Breton Island around Sydney, we could get up to 20 centimeters of snow. And for the Bonavista Peninsula, as well as Gander, there is a snowfall warning in place. But for you in the Avalon, including St. John's, we do have a winter storm watch for you. So just the potential for things to get really messy, and notice a bit of a rain-snow mix at times into your Friday morning commute. So Newfoundland, Friday morning, heads up, strong winds as well as snow. This morning, pretty calm right now. Halifax at -8, Fredericton's -14, so you're cold. That's your biggest story. But then on the horizon, there's that system moving through by late afternoon across Nova Scotia, and then overnight, winds pick up in Newfoundland as well as the snow moving through for Friday. It exits out of the region by Saturday, but then Saturday night, another system on the way, and this one much more impactful for the Maritime provinces. For Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, PEI, there already are special weather statements in place for this messy weather making its way through on the weekend. So we're joined by Nathan Coleman with the calm before the storm. And Nathan, you sound like me, a little bit nasal at this time of year. We're getting sick, and then those winter storms don't help at all. Great. Thanks so much, Nathan. So if you see Nathan on his travels from Halifax towards Sydney, maybe even Fredericton, say hi to him. As we look to winter storm watches, anything marked in pink is in the watch. That includes St. John's, but in the warning, that's Gander, where up to 20 centimeters could fall for your Friday. This morning, heading out the door in Montreal, -17, but grab those sunglasses. You'll need them on your drive. It's going to be sunny all day. This afternoon in Toronto, -3, North Bay's -10, Pembroke -7, and Ottawa, big improvement for you, -9 this afternoon after yesterday morning when you were feeling closer to -20s. That is a lot more manageable. This afternoon, as we head out the door in southern Ontario, you're going to see that sunshine, but this storm is looming. It's going to bring us some snow in through northern Ontario tomorrow. Stay with us. More on what's happening in the west. Time now for my favorite segment of the day. It's Share Your Weather Time. So on Twitter, people have been sending me their pictures of weather in their area, and now one of them gets a personalized forecast. So we take you to this shot. This was sent to me on Twitter from Steve. It was steady snowfall in Kingsville, Ontario. This was yesterday. For today, no snow. In fact, temperatures very mild for this time of year. -2 will be the daytime high. Winds sustained out of the west, about 10 kilometers an hour. And as we head into the weekend on Saturday, you will see about a centimeter of snow. Send me your pictures to my Twitter account at Nicole Karkic. Now moving next to Thunder Bay, snow on the way for you people snowshoeing. I'll be doing this weekend. Hopefully, if I'm not too sick, we've got about 2 to 5 centimeters moving through tomorrow for Thunder Bay. And this is exciting. The Ice Wine Festival happening in Niagara this weekend. Recently, our very own Chrissy Van was in the Niagara area learning about how weather can impact the vineyards. This afternoon, it will be dry in through Labrador. St. John's -3 for that daytime high. Halifax -4. And Toronto quite seasonal at -3, but not so dry, quite mild towards Regina, 3 degrees. Calgary, 9.
The temperatures are actually going to be warming up throughout the day because of a warm front, and with more on that, to you inside, Nicole.
Thanks, Kasha. And yes, warm front. That's the key. We'll talk about how that plays into the weekend coming up. Through to Friday, though, if you're going to be snowmobiling, snowshoeing, snowboarding, what have you, the hills getting a little bit of snow into Friday, in through cottage country by Saturday. But tomorrow morning, we've got 3 to 5 centimeters around Cochrane up towards Sudbury as well. And with that, there will be an associated warm front. So for this afternoon, you know what? These temperatures actually fairly seasonal for this time of year. Ottawa, a little bit below, but an improvement compared to yesterday, especially as you head out the door this morning. We're going to see a mix of that sun and cloud. And then for this afternoon up towards Sudbury, -8 sunlight for us. And as we get closer to February, that's when things really feel like they turn around with the daylight. For Newfoundland, heads up, we have a winter storm watch in place for St. John's over towards Marystown, for Gander, as well as Clarenville, Terra Nova, Bonavista. There is a snowfall warning. So what that means is we've got up to 15 to 20 centimeters of snow, even could be on the high end towards the Avalon Peninsula, but you will see some mixing. Also with this system coming through, which comes through tonight, some strong winds for Friday morning. So you know how that goes in Newfoundland. It's going to be blowing all the snow around with gusts along the shorelines getting close to 80 kilometers an hour. Now, first, it does move into Nova Scotia this afternoon. So Halifax, the South Shore, picking up about 5 centimeters. But for Sydney, it could be closer to 20. The winds playing a part in the story. For the maritime provinces, it's going to be gusting between 60 kilometers an hour to maybe 70, but stronger for Newfoundland. We do get a bit of a break for Friday morning, but then it comes back with the wraparound effect of that low, getting into some strong westerly winds. It's gone by Friday evening, but then on Saturday, a new system coming through, the Maritimes first, and then Newfoundland. For Nova Scotia, for PEI, for New Brunswick, there are special weather statements in place already for this system coming through this weekend. It could be a big power outage story at times. This afternoon, Halifax is -4, Fredericton -6, and for Rimouski, you are -10 with sunshine, and lots of sunshine here heading into Quebec. Montreal's -10 into the afternoon, but on the horizon, here's the systems to watch. So the one moves through for the Maritimes on Friday, but then on Saturday, here's the next one coming through, which will bring, starting off as snow in the Maritimes, changing to rain. Thanks for joining us. Nicole and Chris with you. We're following major Atlantic storms. That should have an S.
Yes.
Updates on watches and warnings. And the January thaw, will it last for people like Calgary, where you're at 9 degrees this afternoon again?
10 to 15 degrees above seasonal in many parts of the prairies. Unbelievable. There are some freezing rain warnings in the north. And then in the east, where we're tracking the storm, we'll get to that momentarily. Really cold air in western Labrador and northern Quebec, Schefferville, Vermont, Labrador City, Churchill Falls. Core temperatures, Nicole, in the -40s.
Yes.
So there are a lot of school closures this morning. -40 Celsius, also -40 Fahrenheit.
Wow, school closures because it's just too cold to go outside.
Yes.
Frostbite within a matter of minutes on exposed skin. And the satellite right now just showing that storm system really nicely forming, moving into Nova Scotia by this afternoon with snow.
Speaking of which, Nathan Coleman joining us now. Nathan, you're going to be on the move today. You're in Halifax. You're going to Sydney. So are you going to go north of Truro, take the Trans-Canada, or are you going to take that Eastern Shore drive across?
Safe drive, Nathan. So as we look to Newfoundland first up, so storm number 1 coming through tonight. Newfoundland through the overnight. We've got snowfall warnings in place for Gander, Terra Nova, Clarenville as well, up to 20 centimeters of snow.
That's right. And then we have the winter storm watches, because on top of that, you're going to get some 80-kilometer-an-hour winds. That includes parts of the Avalon Bay of Exploit. So again, biggest snow, eastern Nova Scotia, eastern Newfoundland.
That's right. Thanks, Nathan. So not too bad this round for the Maritimes. You got that message, but certainly is going to be impactful for you in Newfoundland. We've got Gander, Terra Nova, Clarenville under a snowfall warning towards the Avalon Peninsula and St. John's. We do have a winter storm watch in place for you. So it's going to get messy real fast overnight tonight. So tomorrow morning, we're going to be looking at 10 to 20 centimeters of snow on the ground. It'll still be falling as well as blowing all around. And yes, St. John's, at times you could see a bit of a rain snow mix, so that slushy, heavy, wet snow. This is to end off your week. Cape Breton Island also in that dark blue around Sydney for heavy amounts of snow, but Halifax under 5 centimeters. The winds playing a part in this story, so follow the reds, follow the pinks for the strongest wind. The shorelines of Cape Breton Island with gusts coming out of the north overnight up to 60 to 70 kilometers an hour, but for Newfoundland on the shorelines, it could get up to 80 kilometers an hour, including St. John's for your Friday. This is our first storm, but then the next one comes for the weekend, and boy, oh boy, that one looks much more powerful. For this afternoon, Halifax is -4, Fredericton -6, so still below average for this time of year. Montreal, nice sunshine for you. Towards Quebec City, you are -7. Let's head to Ontario now, where we find Kasia Badurka in the north in the city of Barrie. All right, thanks so much, Kasia. Northern Ontario, if you're snowmobiling, some snow moving through on Friday. It will start overnight tonight around Big Trout Lake, move towards Sudbury, bringing you 3 to 5 centimeters of snow. And then on Saturday at 6 South, so through Cottage Country, the ski hills, getting some snow this weekend. Toronto this afternoon, -3. Ottawa, an improvement from yesterday at -9. And towards the north, Thunder Bay, you're -3.
Nicole, temperatures across most of the prairies, 10 to 15, 15 degrees above normal values.
So balmy.
Windy.
Also windy. And you mentioned that people in Calgary might be shifted to the west.
Yeah, how about the old Lethbridge lean?
The old
in
Lethbridge
yeah,
lean.
you'd be walking like
That's
this
right.
because of those 80-kilometer-an-hour winds, but at least it's better than a northeast wind, that's for
Exactly.
sure.
So Calgary by Saturday up to 12 degrees, Sunday rather.
Okay.
Late week, we've got that cold air in place for the east. These were our daytime highs yesterday, so notice Halifax, you were -7. Usually you're closer to about -1 for this time of year.
All right, well, let's look ahead, and no question about it, this is the developing storm for the weekend right here down in Texas. Nicole, you've been looking at Texas just very quickly. Is it snowing in Texas?
We've got the north under snowfall warnings in Texas, so they're going to be dealing with probably about a dusting.
Yeah, well,
snow,
that's a big
and that's
deal
going to be
there.
a big deal for them.
But that's the weekend, but let's talk about the here and now. This one here, remember we showed you yesterday, remember it was just a little tiny cluster of clouds down here. Well, now it's a full-blown low-pressure system, so what's it going to do? Well, it's going to change things, or watches rather, for Bay of Exploits and parts of the Avalon with snowfall warnings in between. So how much are we going to see?
We're looking at 10 to 20 centimeters of snow, so that does include Gander, Terra Nova, Clarenville, over towards St. John's. Potential for some mixing, so less amounts of snow, but the winds, as you mentioned, Chris, especially for Friday morning, blowing all the snow around, and Nova Scotia also seeing some snow, up to about 5 centimeters for Halifax, though, so not too bad.
East, if we run this through, the heaviest snow will be as you move east of Halifax into Cape Breton. So Sydney, this could be 10, 15 centimeters. And note the strongest winds coincide where the snow is going to fall, so there's going to be some blowing snow again. This is the opening act. Let's get to the headliner.
Yeah, so for the weekend, we've got special weather statements in place already, a slew of them for the maritime provinces. Tapping into that Gulf moisture, moving through Saturday night into Sunday. So this will bring messy mix of everything, Chris.
Potential power outages, ferry and flight disruptions, so you got to batten down the hatches. This is going to be a widespread, high-impact storm this weekend.
This afternoon, not doing too bad. Look at these temperatures in Regina, +3, well above average in Calgary at 9, but over towards Halifax, -4 with snow on the way. Do you want to escape? I know I do. For Nassau, 29 degrees on Friday. We're going to see variable clouds through the area, but the ocean, nice and warm. Freeport getting up to 30 on Friday. Miami, 26 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. And over toward Georgetown, getting up to 26 degrees. Safe travels if you are going anywhere. Nicole and Chris with you. For you across Canada, here's the top stories we're following. Major Atlantic storms, 3 of them to talk about.
Indeed.
Yes.
Plural.
Storms, updates on watches and warnings, and the January thaw, will it last for you in the west? No snow on the ground in Calgary with temperatures at 9 degrees yesterday.
Yeah, temperature's going to run 10 to 15 degrees above seasonal, pretty much across all the prairies. Got some light rain in Vancouver right now. Freezing levels are going to go up, so a lot of those mountains are going to get rain.
Yes,
snow changing
I know,
to rain.
not good.
Very cold across parts of the east, and there's our storm system that we're tracking. One of two, the second one down here in Texas, and that's causing some misery down the south.
That's right, up to 12 inches of snow in northern Texas. Now, the cold spot in the entire country right now is Wabash at minus 43 degrees Celsius without the wind chill.
Unbelievable. Schools are closed this morning because it's just too cold out there. All right, let's take a look at your morning conditions across the east, and it is chilly. You can see that Moncton minus 13, minus 15 in Sherbrooke, and minus 16 in Quebec, and minus 6 in St. John. So it's going to be cold enough for snow. This next system, this first system, it's not going to be a rain-snow mix in Nova Scotia. It's going to be snow, but will it be a lot? That's what we're tracking. But look at it, it's starting to get that classic calm shape, and it's going to make a beeline towards the Avalon Peninsula,
where it's going to be much worse. Now, here's Nathan Coleman in the calm before the storm. And Chris, you don't know this, but Nathan has quit coffee today. So,
wow.
How are you feeling, coffee-wise and weather-wise?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Nathan. So take a look at the warnings in place here. Gander, Terra Nova, Clarenville for up to 20 centimeters of snow. So this really impacting you tomorrow morning.
Absolutely. And then the winter storm watch in pink includes the Northern Avalon and the Bay of Exploits, because the wind will be a little bit stronger, even if the snowfall totals are a little bit less. So a good shot of 10 to 20 plus centimeters of snow. Now Halifax, a couple of centimeters, but up the eastern shore towards Sydney, that's where we could see 10, maybe 15 centimeters with strong winds.
Right, and temperatures this afternoon still below average at minus 4 in Halifax, minus 6 in Fredericton, but making our way towards Quebec. Lots of sunshine here. Montreal, minus 10, Gatineau, minus 9, and for Kasha joining us right now near the Barrie area, the sun will come out to play soon enough, but no snow. Thanks for joining us. I'm meteorologist Nicole Karkic. Looking at today across the country, we do have rain moving on shore for Vancouver later this afternoon, so you get a break late morning and then more rain through the overnight. Really mild air across the prairies. Calgary right now is 8 degrees and cold in the east with a system that we're watching in Atlantic Canada. And boy, oh boy, have you got a weekend in store for you in the Maritime provinces with snow, with rain moving into Newfoundland and strong winds as well. Let's talk now to Kasha Badurka, who's having fun out there just around the Barrie region. I know you're going to be teaching us all about the fun of snowmobiling.
I got to say, I love this pink helmet. Maybe I'll put one on later into the show. Nicole?
Well, it's all about the outfit, isn't it? Kasha, thanks so much. We'll check in with her again this afternoon. Barrie will be jumping up to minus 5, actually fairly average for this time of year. Toronto at minus 3, and a big improvement in Ottawa at minus 9 for the afternoon with sunshine. Towards the north, really mild. Look at Thunder Bay, minus 3. As warm in Thunder Bay as it will be in Toronto for the afternoon. Wawa will be minus 7, and then a warm front moves through. Associated with this, we've got some snow for Friday through the day. Wawa, Armstrong over towards Sudbury. It's a general 3 to 5 centimeters of snow, where a lot more snow is moving for the Maritime provinces and especially Newfoundland. So for Halifax, generally you're looking at about 5 centimeters of snow moving in later today. Cape Breton Island, possibly around Sydney, 20 centimeters. So this starts later on, and then overnight it slams into Newfoundland, bringing Gander, Terra Nova, Clarenville up to 20 centimeters of snow, not to mention the fact that along the shorelines, gusts will be up to 80 kilometers an hour. So Friday morning will be messy. This afternoon, it's minus 5 in St. John, minus 4 in Halifax, still below average. Moving towards Quebec, Montreal will be minus 10, Pembroke will be minus 7. But let's talk about what's happening next in the Maritime provinces. Behind the scene, we've been really looking at all the models here for Atlantic Canada. So that system departs on Friday. This next one gets wound up, and it moves in for Saturday night into Sunday for the Maritimes first, and then eventually Newfoundland. We could see gusts in St. John's over 100 kilometers an hour on Sunday. Thanks for joining us, Nicole and Chris, with you, looking across the country at our most active weather. And first up, we'll just talk about the hot spot in the country right now is Bella Bella at 10 degrees. The cold spot is in the east, Wabash, Newfoundland at minus 43. So where would you rather be?
Oh boy, minus 43, that's tough to take at any time. And on top of all that mountains of snow. We have, before we get to the east storm, because that's our main feature, this low pressure system will bring freezing rain from Wood Buffalo National Park, the largest national park in the country, right over to about Reindeer Lake. So northern Saskatchewan, northern Alberta, watch for patchy freezing rain this morning into the afternoon.
And there's the extreme cold warning,
Yes.
including Labrador City
Oh,
up
boy.
towards Churchill Falls, feeling like the minus 40s to start off the day. In the morning in Halifax is minus 8. Towards Quebec City, though, lots of sunshine, but yes, a cold start at minus 16. And looking at our satellite and radar, Chris, this is the storm we're watching, and there's that blue getting close to the south shore of Nova Scotia.
This is the storm number 1, and this is, I've been calling this one, this is the opening act. The headliner is coming this weekend, but, you know, not to take this one lightly, it'll scrape eastern Nova Scotia particularly. So this is more the eastern shore as opposed to the south shore for snow, and then it's going to make a beeline towards the Avalon Peninsula. So we have winter storm watches, which is the combination of snow and wind, and then the snowfall warning, where we could see about 20 centimeters of snow, including around Gander, Clarenville, Bonavista.
Exactly. Terra Nova 2 in that warning. The watch includes St. John's. You could get some mixing at times through Friday morning, but the bulk of it will be snow for the Avalon and St. John's. This afternoon, St. John's are minus 3, over towards Fredericton, minus 6. Northern New Brunswick not getting hit hard this round, but for the weekend, yes, it is Saturday into Sunday where it will be a mess in Atlantic Canada.
The track is still a little up in the air if this is going to go across the Bay of Fundy or the Atlantic coast of Nova Scotia, but widespread winds. So today, get yourself prepared for possible power outages. You know, the batteries, the waters, you know the drill. You're going to need that likely.
This afternoon in Quebec, not looking too bad.
Oh, nice.
Need the sunglasses for Montreal if you're driving around. It's minus 10. And tomorrow, Northern Ontario starting to see some snow moving in, 3 to 5 centimeters generally up towards the Nickel Belt, and then it will sink south towards Southern Ontario, including cottage country. So some fresh snow on the mountains around Blue Mountain. In the typical Collingwood areas, we'll see some snow finally.
A beautiful day across much of Southern Ontario today. Tomorrow looks nice as well. That's nice.
If you're traveling in through southern BC this morning, you will see some light snow along Highway 5, Highway 1 as well. Rain tapering off for the lower mainland. However, overnight tonight, more rain on the way. And snow moving into Nova Scotia, with Halifax picking up about 5 centimeters this afternoon. As for Newfoundland, it makes its way towards you in the overnight. So tomorrow morning, we'll see blowing, drifting snow and much cooler temperatures. Looking at this afternoon, Halifax is minus 4, Toronto minus 3 with clear skies for you.
Temperatures are sitting at about minus 17 here, closer to the city of Toronto, minus 8. Back to you inside.
Thanks so much, Kasha. Well, I was snowshoeing just 2 weekends ago, and I learned that the snowmobilers will give you the signal when there is a lineup of them. So the first guy will say there's 5 guys behind me, and then when the 5th guy goes, he says 0, so that you know that it's safe to walk on the trail. I did not know that. Now I do. Now you do if you didn't. Today across the country, we've got high pressure in place in Ontario, moving through into the south, the east. An interesting story, the cold, as well as one system moving through tonight, impacting Nova Scotia and eventually Newfoundland really hard, and then another one for the weekend, which will cause widespread power outages potentially, with very strong winds in Newfoundland and the Maritimes. So that's upon you this weekend. This afternoon, very seasonal. Toronto's minus 3, Ottawa's minus 9, so a huge improvement compared to yesterday. And look how mild it is in the north. For places like Thunder Bay at minus 3, there is a warm front pushing through with a low pressure system, and associated with that, we are going to see about 3 to 5 centimeters of snow into Friday, including Sudbury getting about 3 to 5, and then it does start to taper off and sink south towards places like Toronto, over towards the hills and through cottage country. So Blue Mountain getting some fresh snow this weekend. For the afternoon, Regina plus 3, Lethbridge will be plus 7. The hot spot in Alberta right now is Edson at 9 degrees, so it is very mild all across the Prairie provinces. It's below average actually for this time of year, but very serene, very calm, beautiful sight. That is going to look very different for overnight. The winds are going to pick up dramatically in the Maritime provinces over towards Cape Breton. And then for Newfoundland, Gander, Terra Nova, Clarenville is included in a snowfall warning. St. John's and parts of the Avalon are included in a winter storm watch. So winter storm watch means that you get snow, but you also get strong winds. So that comes through overnight tonight with 10 to 20 centimeters potentially, with Gander being really in the line of fire there. Same story for Sydney. Halifax, sort of on the fringe. You could see about 5 centimeters. If you take a more direct hit, you could see a bit more. This afternoon, minus 4 in Halifax. Fredericton, you will be minus 6. Not being hit too hard in New Brunswick at all by this storm. That will be, though, the weekend for you. This afternoon, Montreal, Gatineau, nice sunshine. And then for the weekend, here's the storm parade coming through Atlantic Canada. Thanks for joining us. Nicole and Chris with you. Top stories for Canada today. Tracking major Atlantic storms, 3 on the way. Updates on watches and warnings. And there's a January thaw. Will it last? We're talking to you in the west, places like Edson, the hotspot in Alberta, at 9 degrees.
Wow. Edmonton this morning and Calgary have been between 5 and 10 degrees, very, very mild. All right, so we got Pacific air in the west, and we've got some polar air still around minus 20 in Ottawa, with wind chills close to minus 25 in Montreal. And then, of course, we got 1, 2, and there will be a third storm for Atlantic Canada.
And also the cold air in place with places like Labrador City feeling like minus 40. You said there were some school closures as well in Labrador?
Yeah, Labrador City, Wabush, and Churchill Falls. So K7 schools for the morning because it's just so cold.
It's just too cold. And this afternoon, minus 6 in Sherbrooke. Moncton will be minus 6 in Halifax. There's minus 4 with some snow, which will make its way through by this afternoon. So there it is. There's the blue popping up, Chris, if people can see it getting closer.
A little clip on the South Shore. It's really more the East Shore, Cape Breton. That'll get into it later this afternoon tonight. The winds will also pick up, producing blowing snow, and then it makes an eastward beeline towards Newfoundland, and that's where we have our winter storm watches and snowfall warnings, potentially 10 to 20 centimeters of snow, winds up to about 80 kilometers per hour, so that'll be whipping things around right until tomorrow.
Exactly. So that's Friday morning, hitting you hard in Newfoundland in particular, with those warnings in place. For Quebec, pretty calm this afternoon, minus 10 in Montreal, a beautiful city, a beautiful forecast with the sun at least. And let's go now to Kasia Badurka, who, you're not on the snowmobile right now.
Hey.
Okay, we're going to send it back to you inside, Nicole and Chris.
Thank you, Kasia. A little bit of snow coming to northern Ontario. We've got some light snow now. A little clipper is going to scoot across. So we're talking about 3 to 5 centimeters overnight tonight into tomorrow.
And then for this afternoon, really seasonal here. Toronto at minus 3, a huge improvement in Ottawa this afternoon at minus 9. You'll still see that sunshine towards the north. I mean, Thunder Bay is as warm as Toronto this afternoon, Chris. So it is very mild up there with that warm front making its way through. And look at the prairie provinces.
These are morning temps. Morning temps.
Morning. Wow. Winnipeg up minus 5, but doing a lot better if you like the mild air there towards the prairies. And some freezing rain, Chris, in northern Saskatchewan as well as Manitoba today.
Northern, anywhere from about Wood Buffalo National Park right towards Reindeer Lake. That's where we got it this morning. The southern prairies, though, 10 to 15 degrees above seasonal. It'll be a warm west wind today.
Lisa, how about you take us away on the trail? We're going to send it back to you inside while I go have some fun. Woohoo! I love my job.
Okay. I'm jealous. She's having fun out there. We're inside. Well, still talking about the weather, which is also fun. We'll check in with Kasia again coming up this afternoon. Toronto's minus 3, very seasonal. If you're up through Barrie doing any snowmobiling, it'll be minus 5, so very average. And towards the east, and huge improvement in your temperatures. And while Ottawa, that's still below average, minus 9, an improvement. Yesterday morning felt like minus 23 with the wind chill. This afternoon, really mild in the north. Thunder Bay will be minus 3, just as warm as Toronto. And there is a warm front as well as a system moving through northern Ontario tomorrow. That will drop from Armstrong to Sudbury about 3 to 5 centimeters of snow, and then it will sink south towards cottage country and the greater Toronto region on Saturday. Already Gander, Terra Nova, Clarenville included in the snowfall warning, but for the watch zone, we've got St. John's included as well as parts of the Avalon for not just snow, but also the strong winds. How much snow? It's about 10 to 20 centimeters, as you can see in the dark blue, extending over towards St. John's, which will also see some mixing by Friday morning. And for Nova Scotia, it's about 5 centimeters for Halifax, a bit more for Sydney. You could get up to 10 to 20. Afternoon temperatures shaping up like this. St. John's, you're minus 3. Fredericton, minus 6. Northern New Brunswick, really not getting hit by this system at all. It's the next one that will impact you. Quebec, how about you? Not doing too bad this afternoon. Sunshine in Montreal, minus 10. Pembroke will be minus 7. And let's talk about you in the east, because as this system departs in Newfoundland on Friday, we've got another one on the horizon. It's a Texas low that's bringing over 8 inches of snow to parts of northern Texas today, and that will scoot in towards Nova Scotia as we head into the weekend. So Saturday it approaches. By Sunday it will be full-blown strong winds as well as a lot of snow. The warm spot in Alberta is Edson at +9, and that's going to stay that way right into the weekend. In fact, by Sunday, places like Medicine Hat will be in the double-digit highs. Also some freezing rain in northern Saskatchewan, northern Manitoba towards places like Wood Buffalo National Park, and a little bit of snow into Friday as well. A little bit more here you can see closer to the foothills. And this morning in Vancouver, 5 degrees. This afternoon, not doing too bad. Look at these temperatures in Regina, +3, well above average in Calgary at 9, but over towards Halifax, -4 with snow on the way. Do you want to escape? I know I do. For Nassau, 29 degrees on Friday. We're going to see variable clouds through the area, but the ocean nice and warm. Freeport getting up to 30 on Friday. Miami, 26 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud, and over toward Georgetown, getting up to 26 degrees. Safe travels if you are going anywhere. That Jacqueline will follow through the morning. We're tracking major Atlantic storms, 3 of them, updates on watches and warnings. And the January thaw for places like Edson this morning, it was the hot spot in the province of Alberta at 9 degrees. So
wow.
How long will that last?
Well, do you want to know my opinion?
Yes.
My meteorological opinion. No, I only know because I've been looking at the long-range models. It looks like next week's even going to be better. So a lot of days of 8s, 9s,
Wow.
and then maybe even to the mid-teens. Don't hold me to it. Mid-teens, maybe.
Well, I'm on a vacation over towards Calgary
Exactly.
because I need to get away from the cold.
There you go.
There's that dip of the jet stream that's keeping parts of Atlantic Canada brutally cold this morning.
Sure.
Places like Wabash this morning, -43 without the wind chill.
Whew.
And then, Jacqueline, of course, we're following this major storm system that's moving into Nova Scotia with a bigger impact on Newfoundland.
That's right. Definitely mixing. We have the snow. We have the extreme cold, as you mentioned. Kind of a funny shape-looking warning right there. Badger, Gander, St. John's, all looking at either a winter storm watch in the orangey color and then a snowfall warning in the blue. So get ready for it.
Exactly, and this is how much we could possibly see. Places like Sydney getting up to 10 to 20 centimeters, and Jacqueline here, Gander, Terra, Nova, Clarenville, Bonavista,
Sure.
maybe 20 centimeters of snow. That's Friday morning, so also windy.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, and that's storm number 1, right? And the second storm, as you know, Nicole, you've been talking about, is even going to be windier. We could see sustained winds 70, 80, and then gusts up to 120. Wreck house maybe 140.
Wow.
So it's going to be a really, blizzard-like
So that's what you have to
conditions.
look forward to on the weekend in Atlantic Canada. This afternoon, Montreal, some sunshine, -10, Gatineau, -9, Mont-Tremblant. If you're skiing, it's going to be sunny out there and not terribly cold.
There you go. Some shoveling, finally getting those snow blowers that they never get to use out of the garage. 3 to 5 centimeters with an Alberta clipper that's going to develop through the Friday period, and really not a lot, just a trace for many.
2 to 3 centimeters. And then this afternoon, no snow here in Ontario in the south. We've got Toronto at -3, which is bang on seasonal, and Ottawa -9. Yesterday you were -22 in the morning, so that's a huge improvement by this afternoon with that -9. And look at Thunder Bay, it's -3, as warm as Toronto. And Fort Frances, even warmer than places like Windsor this afternoon.
It's not bad. You know what I mean? Even where the cold is in the country, it's not bad. It's very, very manageable. Less than 5 centimeters to the extreme north. I know we did have some freezing rain in Edmonton yesterday with that system moving north, but it'll just be a dusting of snow now.
Right, and possibly some freezing rain even this afternoon around places like Wood Buffalo National Park towards Pelican Narrows. Stay with us. Jacqueline will take you through the morning with more on your story in the West. This afternoon, not doing too bad. Look at these temperatures in Regina, +3, well above average in Calgary at 9, but over towards Halifax, -4 with snow on the way. Do you want to escape? I know I do. For Nassau, 29 degrees on Friday. We're going to see variable clouds through the area, but the ocean nice and warm. Freeport getting up to 30 on Friday. Miami, 26 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud, and over toward Georgetown, getting up to 26 degrees. Safe travels if you are going anywhere. This afternoon, not doing too bad. Look at these temperatures in Regina, +3, well above average in Calgary at 9, but over towards Halifax, -4 with snow on the way. Do you want to escape? I know I do. For Nassau, 29 degrees on Friday. We're going to see variable clouds through the area, but the ocean nice and warm. Freeport getting up to 30 on Friday. Miami, 26 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud, and over toward Georgetown, getting up to 26 degrees. Safe travels if you are going anywhere. Doesn't beach vacation sound beautiful right now? Towards Playa del Carmen, 27 degrees. We'll see variable clouds there. Headed towards Puerto Vallarta, mix of sun and cloud, a hot 32 degrees. Sounds perfect to me. Towards Cancun, 27. We'll see some cloud cover there. Punta Cana getting up to 29, though, and sunshine throughout the entire day. How about Montego Bay? 27 degrees. I'm sure they have some great cocktails there. And towards Puerto Plata, 29. Not a cloud in the sky.
Kicking off this morning in an extreme way. Kasia Fedorko with you here with Lisa beside me, well, driving me here. We are snowmobiling.
And you got to wonder if they were snowmobiling in Texas last night with 25 centimeters of snow in the north.
You know, they're used to seeing strange things in the sky in New Mexico, including thunder snow. Nathan Coleman, he's got a busy schedule ahead.
That's right.
Tracking not one, not two, but three storm systems making their way just to Atlantic Canada.
Watch us on the morning show weekdays at 5:30 a.m. Eastern. See you tomorrow.